Did you know if you're mailing a letter and addressing it to God, that letter will be mailed to Israel and it'll be put in the Wailing Wall along with about 1 million more pieces of paper during the course of the year? Personally, I've traveled to Israel, and with its rich culture and its rich history is the reason why I decided to research the country of Israel. Today I will speak about Israel's rich culture and Israel's history. First, I will tell you about the culture of Israel. Second, I will tell you about their cultural customs. And then I will tell you about a recent event that's happened in Israel. Now, let me begin by telling you about Israel's culture. The most popular places to visit in Israel are the Temple Mount and the Wailing Wall. According to 2021 Culture Ground's online World Edition's entry of Israel, in the section Religion, the report states that the Temple Mount is in a hill in Jerusalem that contains major religious holy sites. The Temple Mount is revered as the holiest site in Judaism. The Wailing Wall is also in the Temple Mount. Israel's majority religion is Judaism, and the majority of Israelis, about 75%, are Jewish. Now, Judaism focuses on the relationship between the Creator and the Jewish people. Many Jews from Israel may periodically attend synagogue, or they may attend religious ceremonies or holidays or events. Now that you know a bit about their culture, let me tell you about their communication climate. According to Gerrit Hofstede and Michael Minkoff, research on page What About Israel, last updated 2010, Israelis have an emotional need for rules. They believe time is money, and security is an important element of individual motivation. They prefer normative thought, having great respect for traditions. The Israeli society is a blend of individualistic and collectivistic cultures. Small families focus on parent and child relationships rather than uncles and aunts. And loyalty is based on personal preferences as well as a sense of duty and responsibility. Now let me tell you about a recent event that happened in Israel. Israel has changed its leadership. According to the article, Netanyahu ousted as Israeli parliament votes in new government by Patrick Kinsley and Richard Perez Pena on June 13th, 2021 edition of the New York Times. Netanyahu is out as Israel's prime minister. Naftali Bennett has become the new prime minister of Israel. Netanyahu is no longer prime minister after 12 years in office. The new prime minister is not without controversy already, because he's being called a traitor and he's also being called trustworthy. Minister Bennett was once an ally of Benjamin Netanyahu. They split ways, and Prime Minister Bennett ran against Benjamin Netanyahu and won. And because of that, he's being considered a traitor. Now that I've told you about Israel, let me conclude by reviewing some key points. First, I told you about the culture of Israel. Then I told you about Israel's communication climate. And lastly, I told you about a recent event that happened in Israel. Israel is one of the most beautiful places in the world. I've been there several times, and I enjoyed myself each time. There's nothing like reading the Bible as a kid and even as an adult, and then growing up and going and seeing those places that you saw in the Bible. When I say saw, those places that you saw when you read in the Bible with your imagination and seeing them with your own eyes. There's nothing like that in the world. And I've done that before. If you ever get a chance to go to Israel, take it. You will enjoy yourself and you will not regret it. Thank you.